Hi students, Maliki here. So continuing on our data series, we're on data series number 3, and we're going to be doing multi-category tags today, and I'm going to show you how we use these and how we connect them, how we connect the type mark, the description to a legend, and what kind of use that is for us here. So I'm on my ground floor plan here, and let me just pick up the CAD plan here. Okay, I'm going to hide that. So just on that, make sure now that when you do your plotting for your final set of PDFs and for your interim hand-up, that you have that CAD plan turned off. You actually need to turn it off. I must show you this. If you turn it off like I turned it off there, it'll still plot. You can't see it, but it'll still plot. The only way to turn it off so that it won't plot is go into VV on the keyboard, imported categories, and let's find it here. So I think it's this one. So you turn it off from there, uncheck that, and that means it'll turn off in the view, but it will not plot. Okay, so remember that one. Now, we've done this before on several different occasions, and but let me just reiterate what's happening here. So I'm going into annotate and I'm picking multi-category. And if you hit the drop down box here, you'll see we've got the ATMC construction and type mark. All right. So that is two pieces of information that are reported back, type mark and the construction description. Here is the AT tag MC elevation description. Okay, so that only reports the final finish that we're looking at in the elevations. That's why that one is specifically made for that. Here's the type mark only. Okay, similar to this one, except it reports back in the type mark only. Here's a uniclass description. Okay, and that goes in looking for the uniclass, and we'll report that on the tag. And that's a family details one. I don't think we'll be particularly using that one. So it's these four here that you're going to be using. So let me show you in each case an example of that. And so I'm doing the construction and the tag. So click into there. And here is what it's reporting back to me. Now, where does it get this information? As a reminder, let's pick on that wall, go into the edit type and into the identity data down here. So it's picking up this information here, concrete 200 mil cast in situ concrete basement wall. Now that's interesting that it's coming up with a basement wall. In this case here, probably shouldn't be. Now, I'm just going to leave that there for the moment because I'm going to show you something different, how we can rectify mistakes like this efficiently as well. There's the assembly code, okay, and here's the type mark here. So this is the AT_wall type internal 02. All right. Now, so that's reporting back both of those. I'm going to do that again, annotate, multi-category, except this time I'm just picking up the type mark only. Okay, and there it is there. Now, in terms of the arrowheads here, okay, for both of these, the reason that the arrowhead is coming up so big is because this is actually at a scale of 1:200. Okay, so if I drop down the scale, those arrowheads would drop down. So you can make a choice here. The arrowhead is associated with it's a type property. Look, if I go into the type properties, here's the arrowhead here. And so if I turn it off there, because it's a type property, wherever this tag appears, then it'll disappear for everywhere. And actually, those arrowheads are quite useful for your 1:50 call out plans and your 1:50 sections, and then your 1:20 details, and so on like that. So for the moment, I'm going to leave the arrowheads there, and that's why it's so big. It's because of the scale. Right. I always like over here. Look at this. So it kind of defaults back to an attached end, and I much prefer a free end. Apply. Why? Because then I can do this. Okay. Just gives me a little bit more flexibility in terms of pointing this in the right direction. Free end, apply. Okay, and down there. Another thing that you'd want to watch out for here, and I'm going to show you, I'll just show you this as well, is notice the way the note is opaque here, so it's not showing what's in the background there. Right now, if you don't like that and you want to change it, or I like the 2 mil text size. I think it works right throughout whatever scale that you're working on, more or less, and it keeps your text size consistent. So we're just going to take a quick look at that and show you where you can adjust that, or where you can tweak it, or whatever else like that. Also, if you didn't want the note stretching out as far as that, we can fix that as well. So I'm selecting the tag. I'm going to family. This is where all the information is found. So that family come up. Let's turn that again. Oh, sorry. There you go. Right. Now, so here is the type mark. Now, there's a couple of things going on with this here, and I did mention this in class, I think, the other day. So the first thing is that do you see these reference lines? Okay. So I'm going to bring the edge of the box, if you like, over to that reference line there. And if I go back into my ground floor plan, that's why there's such a gap there. See the way there's a gap here and there's not a gap there. All right. And the reason that there's a gap is because of its distance away from the center line there. So that'll take care of that gap. Now I'm going to pick the label itself, and I'm going to go into the edit type. And it is telling me that it's a text size of 1.5. Now, do you remember I was saying this to you? I don't want that. I want a 2 mil text size. And then here's where you control the opaque or the transparent. All right. And here's where you control the color. And I want it black. All right. So that's it. And you'll notice here that there's a type. We could go in and make a type here, but to be honest with you, we can just rename it. Okay, we can just call it a 2 mm. All right. Now, so we'll apply that. We'll go OK. I'm just going to move it up here now. Again, I want that dot kind of centered in the cross section of those two reference planes. So let's save this. It already exists. Do I want to replace it? I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to load it into the project. Now it's going to ask me, do I want to overwrite? And I'm going to say yes, and yes, and bang. Now, so there's that particular tag. All right, that's gone up like so. And so it's a lot more. You can see the size of it now, and that's again the concern here. So what I'm saying to you is that at this scale of 1 to 200, then the type mark is absolutely perfect, right? The type mark, this one here, that's the one that you want to be using. And again, if I go into the edit family here, zoom in, and I select the label again. So I'm going to move this with my arrow keys. Okay, I want to get this like so, with that dot in the cross sections there. And remember I was saying to you that if you pull this out here, then it'll fill up the text right up to that point there. Or if you push it back here, and then the text, if it goes beyond that, it'll drop down to a second line below. So there's that one. Select it and edit the label. You don't need to edit the label. Sorry, go into the edit type. And again, it's a 1.5. So let's make this a 2 millimeter. Let's change the opaque to transparent and change the color to black. All right. Now, I think this is really good for you, so that you understand how you can go in and tweak these multi-category tags. And the thing is, I like to keep them consistent. If for any particular reason, let me just save that, and I'm going to overwrite this one, and then I'm going to load this into the project and go OK. And if you watch this one here, overwrite the existing and go yes, and it'll update now. So there we go, like so and like so. All right. Now you can see what I mean by that. All right, so it's taking that down below there. So again, I'll go back into the family and I'll just pick this and I'll pull that out a little bit further there. And again, we'll just save it, load it into the project. Okay, and overwrite. Now, so we're back to there. There are situations where you might want your type mark only, okay, to be a different color, slightly different text size and whatever else. So you might consider actually duplicating this multi-category tag and saying, this is what I'm going to use at a scale of 1 is to 50, or this is the one I'm going to use at a scale of 1 is to 200. That's the way to do that, because these are type mark properties, and their type properties is what I'm saying is, so once you change anything in here, it applies to all of the tags that are under that particular category as such. So what you've got to do is go in and create a new tag, new multi-category tag, if you want to do something different here and have options. Use this one or that one, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to delete that one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tag here at the scale of 1 is to 20. So I'll go into my annotate again, multicat, and this is going to be the type mark only. So let's go in here. Now, again, this is a really good exercise. So you can see it's picking up a variety of things here that I need to fix up. You can see the doors don't have type marks attached to them as yet. It doesn't know what that is. Okay, it's picked up a precast stairs or one, so there's a type mark associated with that. There's no type mark associated, and I wouldn't go too much into these ones here because again we have our 1 is to 50 blow up. That's where that occurs. So what we're doing here is mainly the structure. Okay, is the structure like so, and so popping in that type mark at various different places there. Interesting that that is coming out a little bit small as well, but look, we'll deal with that one now in a second. So, all right, so it's just basically to get in those major items of structure that you're seeing, and the type mark is absolutely perfect for that. So you can see there's a few things happening here when you start going to put in your type marks. There is door information here that's coming up with a type mark of 262 and 2, what's that, 262. So they're of a similar style of door. We're getting, doesn't know what that is there. Okay, that is the oh, that's the curtain wall glazing, isn't it? Let's just do the type mark here on this one, see if that picks it up. So it's not even picking up the it's not even picking up the Kingspan that I have as well. All right. Now, so part of the job that you need to do here is to go in and select that door, and let's go into the edit type properties. Okay, cancel. Right, door, edit type, and you can see down in the identity data, this is what is picking up here. And we don't want that. We obviously want our AT underscore DT01. That's going to shout at me now if this is already used. So I'll hit apply first. So it's not used. I don't have so the description is an internal double door. We can certainly add to that. Internal double glazed. Double door, something like that. Internal double glazed double door. And we could say timber frame. So you put in your description note in here and apply an OK. Now, so it's reporting back the AT01, all right, and that's all I've asked it to do, is to report back on the type mark only. Now, if you're going to ask me, is there a quicker way to do this? And the quickest way to find out whether you've got all the doors are tagged correctly or not is to do a door schedule or accordingly a wall schedule. So I'm going to come back over here and let's take a look at our schedules down here. So we do have master schedules here. I'm just going to pop in and show you this. So we've got, this is the door. So these are all the various different door types here. And you can see the numbers here. So these ones haven't been associated with the tag. All right. That's the one I just changed. It's the ATDT01. Okay. And so we got the 264s, which are singles. Right now, if I wanted to update these all quickly, like so, then this is what I can do. Okay. So this is going to be AT underscore DT 02. And I'm going to click. Now it's going to ask me, it says, this change will apply to all elements of that door type. And I'm going to go, okay. And it updates everything. Isn't that brilliant? Okay. So that's that one. So this is what I mean, that your schedules are connected with your model as well in that sense. So here's the lift door. So that's going to be AT underscore DT. This will be, we call this one maybe 03, and that'll update all of those. Notice that these are fire doors, but they're 01. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that one. I'm going to make that 04, and then it'll update all of those to fire door 60. So so I'm on 04. Let's make this one AT underscore DT05. Okay. And then let's make this one AT underscore DT06. Okay. Now that's updated those. Here's another type. So it's AT underscore DT07. Now you get the idea. So I'm able to control and the type marks for all the doors by doing it that way via the schedule. And that is, believe you me, that's the simplest way to do it. So this is 08. Okay. And I think we've nearly got everything in there now. So you see the way I'm going through, it's going through the levels here and all of that. Now, you're going to say to me, possibly, but I don't have the type mark in my master door schedule. All right, because if I remember correctly, the type mark wasn't there. All right, so DT underscore, AT, Spectral Technology underscore DT, and that's 09, I think that one is. We'll update that one. Now, so how do I get the type mark into this schedule? Well, once you're in the schedule, you can come across to the fields here. I'm going to edit fields, and you can see I've got the type mark in here. So you'll find the type mark down here. These are all fields that we can move in across here. I would just leave all of those there for the moment. I'll explain those later. And we're just, in this case, we're just using the door schedule in order to categorize our type marks, if you know what I mean. So that's that. So you'll pick it from here and you'll put it across there and move it up to the top. That's all I did there to get the type mark in there. Okay, so we can go back into schedules at a later stage, but now I know, right, that I have all of my doors are now categorized and they all have a type mark attached, so that when I go in and put the tag beside it, I know the tag will appear. All right. Now, you can do this for walls as well. Let's go into walls. All right. And you've got various different counts and lengths and things here. So I'm going to add a couple of fields now into this here. So I'm going into there. And the first thing I want is the type mark, right? So here's the type mark. I'm going to add it in and I'm going to move it right up to the top here. Now, what I'd like as well is my family. I don't think it's there, is it? No. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F. So my family and type, I'm going to add that in, sugar. took the type mark out there, put it back in, and let's move it up. So type, back up to UCD family and type, move that in, and I'll move that up to the top. Now I'll go OK. And so here's those two pieces of information, and here's which is grand. So I've got my type mark now. So these should equal each other, if you know what I mean. So this is the name of the family, and this is the type mark given to it. And so it's kind of the reason that that's important is this here, right? So let me go back to the ground floor level, and let me pick that wall. You can see now up here. So I've got this wall here is ATWT02. All right. And let's find out what the type mark is for that. Okay, it is internal O2. So it's a good idea that we have these the same. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take I just take the internal out there. Just make this one equal to that one. Okay, so now, and again, there's method behind my madness here, believe you me. So I'll apply that and go okay, and we can go back to our master walls, and you can see that all of those have updated here. So can I update this? I wonder here. That would be very interesting. So AT underscore WT, and again, it has this EXT. So I'm just going to ignore the EXT. I'm just going to do an underscore 02. Okay. And so I think, yeah, so that is updated there. I think that's right. Yeah, there it is there. Okay. And let's see if it work with this one here. So that is AT underscore WT underscore 02 now. So no, it doesn't seem to change it there. All right, so I'd need to go back into Revit, I think, to change that. Now, the reason I'm saying this is the reason I'm saying that the type mark should match what's happening here. Okay, and just so that you can see this as well, I'm going to do a little. I'm going to come out in there. Let's get rid of a couple of things here. Get rid of the master doors. And I'm going to tile the views here, right? So here's my schedule. Okay, and here is my section. So as I pick a wall, if it comes up, yeah, you can see now, it's starting to come up here, there. All right, so that's the wall I'm talking about. That's really handy to be able to connect that schedule with what's happening here. So it's a base wall. So if I click in there, right, now I've got access to this, edit type, and I'm going to rename, and this will now be, what did I say it was? AT underscore WT underscore 02. Okay. We'll okay that. Now you can see that's updated all the way through here. And then what I'm going to do with this is just and let's do it an underscore under that as well. Okay. Now it's telling me that elements have duplicate value types. And again, that's something you want to avoid. So what we're going to do is find where that other O2 is here. Okay. And it seems to be that one. We're going to make that one an O9 just for the moment. And we'll update all of those. And it's not shouting at me anymore. Okay. Right, so you get the idea. So what I'm trying to do is to match this name with this one here. Why am I doing that? Well, I will show you in the next installment of this data 3 part 1 using your multi-category tags.